Welcome to Open Tabs, our twice weekly Substack Live, where we chat about the stories taking up space on our tabs, our feeds, and our brains. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Okay, we have a lot of fun topics today, so just going to dive in. This is like fresh off the presses for me because I had it totally missed this until like an hour ago, Megan, when you sent me it. But Dunkin Donuts and Parke last week released a collaboration. They're doing Parke, if you don't know, is an influencer founded. It's created by Chelsea Parke. And they basically, is it like exclusively sweatshirts, Megan, or do they do anything else?
Let me check. I actually don't know. I've never looked at the website. Melissa is the Park fan amongst us.
Yeah. They are kind of
No,
famous,
they
or
do everything.
they do everything.
It's like a
Okay.
whole clothing line. Honestly, it's very much giving the Gap, which we talked a lot about.
Interesting. Well, Gap is a cool girl brand now, and Chelsea
Hmm.
Park is a social media cool girl. So that makes sense. But they're known or like infamous for their like mock neck sweatshirts that just say Park on it. And they're known for doing like limited edition drops with different colorways, and people go crazy like for it. I want to say 3 months ago, did a pop up in Manhattan, and like people were lined up around the block for it. So very popular. And yeah, they just partnered with Dunkin Donuts on like a couple sweatshirts in the Dunkin colors, pink and orange, and a tumbler. And I think they're also doing like hair clips, claw
I
clips.
like how subtle it is. That was my favorite part. Like, because the Dunkin' branding is quite loud. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like by partnering with Park, who, like I said, it's very Gap clean girl,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like colorful and fun, but it's not like your Dunkin', it's not like Dunkin' SpawnCon, you know?
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't SpawnCon. It's quite cute. Like it's the pink and orange, and I think they also have brown in there. And it has like a little embroidered donut on the sleeve. It's very cute. And based on the comments in the promo post for it, it sold out in like less than a minute, and people are very upset.
Of course.
They're demanding that they release the amount of inventory. So
Of
we'll see
course.
if that happens. But I think Dunkin' is so good. Like, I think they're a major brand that does social media very well. Especially collabs like right before. So 2 weeks ago, they with Kylie Jenner on a pink King Kylie drink. And I think we like mentioned it or shouted it out on a live, but we didn't really chat through it. But at least in my opinion, these are two back-to-back collabs that feel like very targeted at like the Starbucks audience. Like Park as a brand feels very Starbucks to me. Like you said, it's like very clean girl, quiet luxury, and the Kardashians are constantly drinking Starbucks on their show. So I feel like this is Dunkin' in their own way, like trying to swerve into Starbucks's lane a bit.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to capitalize on the fact that Starbucks has a huge Gen Z problem right now, and a lot of brands are. And this included sweatshirts and clips and cups, but it also was mostly to push their Park Perfect Sips collection, which is a new thing that we're seeing a lot of, where it's like, this is my drink. And Duncan actually did one way back in the day with Charlie. I feel like they were like one of the early people where you
Yeah.
could order a Charlie at Dunkin'. So they have 7 drinks with this collab: blueberry vanilla protein latte, strawberry cloud matcha, splash berry Dunkin' Zero. Like, it's very, like you were saying, fits with the matcha clean girl,
Yeah.
Gen Z girl aesthetic. And if you look, like, most of them are pink, and like there's two that are like ombre. So it's very aesthetics forward, which we talked about at Cool Shiny at when we did the beverage
Mhm.
curve. Like, Gen Z very much cares about aesthetics of their drinks, and it's almost like the drink is part of the OOTD when you're posting, like, this is what I'm wearing today. It's like they often are holding a drink in their hand. So to go after this set of customers who are also kind of like like influencers, like they're like super consumers who are also making this type of content, I think is really smart of Dunkin'.
Yeah, I think they're really fun, and they're, like, kind of self-aware, like, in one of the promo videos they did with Kylie Jenner, she said, "When Dunkin' me reached out to me to collab, my first question was, 'What is a Dunkin'?'" And my second
Yeah.
was, "Can it be pink?"
Yeah. I
Which
that was something that we discussed a lot because I was like, "That's not good." Like,
yeah,
that's very
it was
authentic, and, like,
well, it
even
goes
she
to,
did
like, Kylie
that.
Jenner shilling.
Exactly, and she did a taste test video too where she's, like, trying all of her drinks, and, like, you can tell she doesn't like it. Like, she tastes one and she makes a face, and then the comments are like, she definitely threw those out immediately after this was over." Like, no one's buying the fact that Kylie is actually consuming these Dunkin' products. So I thought that was a bit bold and strange. I don't know if I would ever recommend a brand go with that strategy, because I think that you don't want to make your customers feel stupid or like they're being laughed at, but also it did get a lot of attention. So that's the most important thing when it comes to brand social.
I know, and it was interesting also, it was, like, King Kylie, the whole collaboration was named
Yes.
King Kylie, and it was interesting to see her, like, pull out her King Kylie branding for this Dunkin' collab, where I feel like she's, like, teased it with other brand collabs, but hasn't fully gone all the way and, like, naming the drink King Kylie.
Yeah, and I would've thought that that would've been better for the Meta glasses. That was my take that, like, and I think I commented this on one of our open
Yeah.
tabs videos, that I wish that they had ran with the King Kylie thing and, like, brought back her Tumbler and gone with a more shot on Meta glasses strategy where it's like, King Kylie's back and she's using this product versus we know Kylie's not actually wearing Meta glasses in her day-to-day life, just like we know she's not actually drinking Dunkin' Donuts in her day-to-day life. Who do you
Uh
think Dunkin' should collab with next if they're going after this Gen Z cool girl?
Oh, Gen Z cool girl. I feel like it should be Devonly Carlson, and they should do,
Ooh,
like, a wildflower cake
okay,
or something.
that's such a good idea, Emma. I want that.
Right? I would probably buy that. I'm a Dunkin' girl. Like, I'm a an East Coast, Northeast Dunkin' girl, so I would and I'm a Devonly Carlson stan, so I would buy that up in a second. I feel like she's, like, the ultimate, um, Gen Z and, like, young millennial cool girl.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think they should do a Love Island collab next summer, like,
That's
something
a
in
good
that
one.
space. I feel like that's like, I don't know what, but I feel like they could do something fun because like, they have similar tonalities in terms
They
of, like,
do,
what they
and, like,
find funny, you know, and the
like, her
humor.
bright colors, like, there's a lot of brand overlap with
Yeah,
that. Um, I also feel like Duncan's audience, to your point, like, feels very Gen Z to me, and Love Island is such a Gen
yes,
Z show. I feel like they would, like it would be like a challenge. They would partner with them and do, like, a Dunkin' challenge on one of the episodes. And maybe they have, like, a Dunkin', like, iced coffee drink dispenser in their kitchen because so much of the show is filmed in the kitchen of the Love Island
yeah,
villa because it's, the courting ritual on the island is that the boys cook whatever girl they're coupled up with breakfast that morning. So, like, every episode starts with the boys in the kitchen cooking breakfast, and they always bring their girls iced coffee. So there should be, like, a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee dispenser in the villa. There we go.
great idea. Can't wait to see it.
All my hours, the, like, what, 53 hours I dedicated to watching
No,
Love Island
literally.
past, like, 2
So
months,
many so
all
much Love
culminating
Island.
for that. Duncan, text me or email me. I'm also on Substack Notes if nobody's noticed. I'm now a Substack. Not a big deal or anything. Um, okay, so next topic I wanted to chat about with you. CNN did this really interesting article. Whataboutism makes the internet exhausting. Why people think this way. And I want to give a shout out to fellow Substacker Silence Brand. I found this article and a roundup they did. So, and it was a very interesting read. So CNN is basically breaking down this bean soupification of social media. And if you don't know, bean soup has kind of become an internet term for whataboutism. And it all started because a food content creator posted a recipe for bean soup. And the top comments were, "What if I don't like beans? And can I substitute beans for something else?" And so bean soup has basically just become secondhand for like whataboutism on TikTok particularly. And I've noticed it's worse on TikTok. Um, and CNN's argument is that because social media algorithms have gotten so personalized, especially on TikTok, when users see content that they don't 100% agree with or that doesn't totally relate to them and their life, they have very strong reactions to it. And that's when the bean soup comments come up. So, again, as an avid TikToker and like TikTok content creator, and I know you spend a lot of time on the app, does the bean soupification annoy you? What are your thoughts on it?
Yes. I actually wrote about this for Cool Shiny back in May. I wrote a piece
Oh,
called
cool.
Seven Fallacies of Internet Discourse. And
Mm.
number six was exactly this, which I called invoking an anecdotal outlier. And my examples were bean soup and whataboutism. And I usually come across this in like my work where it's like I'm presenting on Gen Z and then someone will be like, I asked my kid and they've never heard of that. So I don't think we should do that. And I'm like, okay, that's one person, one example. It's very egocentric, but I think it is so correct that that's how we process information. But I also have one flag about this that I think we all need to keep in mind when we're on the internet is that there's a lot of very young people on the internet. And I think that people forget that and you are literally egocentric when you're young. Like that is how you process the world. And you don't think it's weird to ask someone that. And because you literally haven't developed that like sense of like putting yourself in someone else's
Mhm.
shoes yet. And so I always am like, maybe this person you're talking to is a child if they're being like absolutely ridiculous. So that's also something that we've got to remember. And then also there's a lot of trolls on the internet. So like a lot of times people are doing this just to like get attention because they know that they can poke people and get a response. And so what I kind of am like, I'm like, just don't engage with this. Just like if people comment stuff like this on my videos, I literally block them because like I'm in my 30s. I have no interest in teaching people simple things, and it's just like, I'm not doing it, you know? So I think too much of the internet is spent talking to extremists and the whataboutists and the people who will make themselves an outlier. And we spend too much time focusing on them because it's interesting and it's like, a blip from the normal. But I think that it's like antisocial behavior that people have figured out gets them attention. So they're doing it more and more. And the more we pay attention to it, the more people are going to do it.
I agree. I do think like since that bean soup video, I'll try to find it in hyperlink when I post this, like blew up because of those comments. And since then, people definitely know they'll get like a million replies in the comments if they post a bean soup-esque comment. Um,
Yeah.
Also appreciated your flag about remembering that there are literal children on the internet. Was on another call for work with a bunch of other 20 somethings. And we were all talking about like, this was on Depop specifically. Like, my social media, I'm a woman in her 20s. Like, that's the kind of content I get is people in their 20s or, adults. I don't really see a lot of children content. Um, and we are talking about we all recently had experiences. They're all 20 something young women where we are selling on Depop and the seller ended up being a kid who was like, wait, I don't get my allowance until later this week. can you hold it? Or like, wait, I have to ask my mom. And I was like, oh my God, there are like kids on here.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like you can't tell because the internet has a flattening effect, and
Mm.
I've even been in conversations with someone where they, like, say something or ask a question, and I'll respond, and then they'll respond, and then I'll be like, "How old are you?" And then they never respond because they know that I've clocked them as being 12, you know? So I think that's also something like, not all comments are created equal, and not all feedback is created equal, except on the internet, it kind of is. So I think that's also just like something that we always have to keep in mind when we're interacting with the internet and whataboutism. But I also do think that it is an expectation that like your For You page is for you and that like everything have some sort of connection to you. I've also seen people complain about videos and like how they're structured or like, oh my gosh, get to the point. It takes her so long to get to the story. And then the person will be like, I'm sorry, like I have 20 followers. This went viral for some reason and I don't know how to do this. But just like the expectation of just like you're on my For You page and you got 10,000 views. So you must be a creator and like you need to do this better and like instantaneous feedback. I think it's very fascinating.
It's so fascinating. I think that's one thing. I'll see like comments would be like, oh, she actually gets to the point at like a minute 20 seconds.
Which I appreciate. That's nice, where it's like you're not dissing them, but you are like, "All right." You know?
I think that definitely, it's TikTok. None of it is long form content at all. It's like, oh, maybe you have to sit through like a 1 minute spiel before they get to the point or like what you
Yeah.
want. Like you're sitting through a minute. I know life is short, but like you can't do that. I think that's like TikTok warping our brains and our attention spans a bit. And we want instant
Mhm.
gratification. I also feel like this is also connected to like the Google is free replies. Like people will ask, like the bean soup thing, or one of the examples pulled out in this CNN article, a therapist suggested sour candy as a way to help interrupt panic attacks. And comments are like, what if I'm diabetic? And what if I have high blood pressure came up? And it's like, well, you could Google that and you would get an answer much faster. And it's like a thing now where people comment like basic questions on TikToks and like the creator will respond like Google's free. I don't have time to explain
Yeah.
this to you. And the original commenter will get upset.
Yeah, but then it's also their TikTok does this thing where it'll make certain comments or text in the comment section
Mhm.
searchable, and so there's a chance that if someone searches what if I like, what if I'm diabetic? And you click that, it'll turn blue and then it'll answer your question. So it's like kind of this catch 22 because yes, it is Google is free, but TikTok is also actively trying to compete with Google and wants to keep you in their app ecosystem. So they're encouraging the behavior of no, figure it out within the app. We're going to make it easy where if you type this as a question and there's not a lot of comments, and this is definitely a question people have, we'll make this a blue comment and then you'll be rewarded for asking this very simple question in the comment section.
Yeah, that's something they definitely saw people doing that. And now they're doing the blue comments and like that AI overview that'll sometimes come up, which I
Mhm.
hate. I hate when that happens. So, yeah, they have an
Do you
incentive to
wanna
compete.
explain what the AR overview is?
Oh, okay. So I don't really know. It's like a newer feature, I want to say, in like the past few months. So let me see. I don't want to like play a random video, but if you click on like a video, maybe the therapist video that suggests eating sour candy as a way to interrupt a panic attack, one of the top comments might be, well, why sour candy? Or like, why does sour candy down stop a panic attack? And then it'll open up and it pulls from other videos and comments, right? Like, I don't think it's
Mhm.
pulling the information from Google.
I don't think so, maybe Wikipedia, because I know
Maybe
that's integrated.
Wikipedia, but it
Yeah.
basically pulls up it kind of looks like a Wikipedia page or like
Mhm.
a search engine page and it'll have the question at the top and AI just spits out an answer to you. And then it usually like it's like here are 5 other TikToks related to this topic that you can watch next. And I hate it. Like sometimes I'll just be like liking a comment or something, or I want to go to that blue hyperlinked question and it taking me to a new video
Yeah.
and the AI overview will pop up and I'm like, no, stop. Like, I hate it and I don't trust it.
Yeah. Also, the AI overview gives you like a suggested question that you're probably asking based on the video. And it's always really weird for me. Like, it'll literally be like, why are people saying this woman is gorgeous? Like, why are people saying this? Like, it just kind of like trying to interpret a human emotion in an interesting way that I'm like, I don't need you to answer this for me. And it's weird that this is what the AI thinks I would want to know out of this video.
Well, sometimes they're not. It's definitely like there are definitely glitches in like this AI overview and the blue hyperlinked question, and they'll be like very bizarre and unrelated to the topic of the video. And I feel like that's become like another like channel of content is like memes about when TikTok's AI gets it wrong, which is always
I got a Starbucks video, which we had talked about Starbucks and how they're allowing their employees to make content.
mhm.
And it was a video of this girl showing like they're using silica powder, I guess, in one of their drinks, and that's like very controversial. And she was talking about that. And then the very next video was a Starbucks ad for everyone in the comments. They were like, why did I get a Starbucks ad directly after this? And they were like talking about it. And I'm like, this normally works super well in the brand's favor to connect it to a video that's gaining traction. But in this case, I feel like it was like really bad because it was like, this product is gross. And then it's like an ad for the product.
You can't win them all. You can't always get it right. And that's a good
Especially when you're using AI, it cannot provide context.
no, it can't. And we were talking about in our pre-call for this, like the hallucinations, like AI will hallucinate and you'll like put something in to chat GPT and it'll spit out like something totally inaccurate and unrelated. And you're like, what? Um,
Mhm.
that's a good segue into our third and final topic. We're going to talk about it live here, and then tomorrow it'll be behind our paywall. But and it's all about social media's major AI problem, and basically how platforms are flooded with AI generated content.